Good evening and welcome to another Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is September 12th, 2014. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. I thought it was time to play with some scraps. We haven't played with them for a long time, so that's what we're going to do tonight. So come along. It's an hour or 60 minutes, same thing, of working together and sewing. So thanks for joining. Pull out your project and let's get going. Scraps everywhere. What I thought I would do is we're going to play in the scrap bag, and I have some various updates for us. So let me move that over, because if you're like me, you're not going to want to see all of those scraps for all evening. We have plenty. I was thinking I have enough scraps for the rest of my life. Right here. Anyway, as always, send me email if you're out there and you want to say hi. I'm Lynn Marquidant. My email is lmarquedant@gmail.com. And I know we have some new people. Hello. Hello to Kristen. I see you out there in Northern California. Welcome. And my camper fetish has not ended. So tonight I thought that we would try some free-form scrappy camper squares. And specifically, I found some outlines on the internet, and I'm going to use these as sort of paper piecing, playing with the scraps, adding some whimsy, I hope, and then put them on blocks. So I have 6 of these to play with. I'm sure we won't get to all 6, but that's what I felt like doing today. So I'm glad you're on board with me, and I have my phone right here. I've already heard from Sarah. Hello, Sarah. Let me see what Sarah's doing. Actually, I wanted to show this to you. She's working on her embroidery, and it's beautiful. I don't think there's anything that Sarah cannot do. And this is fiber related. And look at that bird. Can you see that? Just beautiful, Sarah. I suspect you're getting ready for your trunk show. Maybe that's a little bit bigger. Isn't that something? That's really painting with your embroidery floss. So welcome. So what I thought I would do is, I pulled out this color because, well, actually, let's look at a few things for inspiration, a few pictures. So this one, Chris, if you're out there, thank you for this bag. I use this. It says, "See the world and come home for love." And what does it have on it but a camper? Then we also have this book that I have read from beginning to end called Glamping. That's glamour camping. And it gives information about everything from decorating with doilies to making camper-related pot holders to buying a camper to inspecting it. I can't say it teaches you how to pack the bearings on the tire, but it gets pretty close. So very fun to look at, and again, it's going to give us some inspiration and some pictures to borrow from as we make our quilt. And I'm frankly hoping that by making this quilt, it'll get the camper idea out of my system. So this is what we always saw in the 60s, Shastas and Saros. So I'm thinking I'm going to have that from the bottom, that turquoisey. And then, so I did do a little thinking before we came on here, but this is really going to be freeform. I thought maybe that for up top. And what I always do, just like any house pattern, is I always work on the door and the windows first, and then you just place them in. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and I hear a beep. Oh, Chris, you forgot about the bag. She says, so cute. It is so cute. And that was way before this whole fetish started. So thank you. I love it. And I'm glad you're watching. Okay. So I'm going to start on the door and what I thought was, see how the top of it's like a Dutch door, the top folds open? I thought I'd try and get kind of cute and make a flapping door. And if I had a little person, I would put it in that window. In fact, I did have one fabric that I wanted to use, but it's too big. Isn't that cute? So I thought I could have her in the windows, but that'll come. I can always adorn things later with it. So I'm just using this as a general size, and I use my scissors. Believe me, for anyone who has done the fantasy house, made fantasy houses with me, you know that there are no rules. The only rule is that there are no rules. And you know, when we're done, this camper may be twice the size we see. But it's just, I learned this from Fern Wiseman. Lima Whitty, if you're out there, thank you for turning me on to her all those years ago. She came and did a houses workshop with the Guild years ago, and she just, her whole thing was just construct with fabric and cut it up and have fun with it. And it is all about the contrast, right? Almost secondarily is the color, although that's not quite true. I did pull out, of course, my color wheel. If you don't have one, you need one. And what I'm kind of going for is the split complementary. So let me do this around. Which is kind of this corally with the turquoise, and then I can even throw in some lemony green and it will work. So that's a split complementary, right? The complement to green is red, but we're going to split on either side and go toward the turquoise and the yellow green. It's just, it's a way to, it's a way to follow some rules to help you along, you know, so it looks good. So there I've created my door, or my door flap. And then this, I will do paper piecing. I really will. But first, I've learned that I have to create my window units and my door units, and then I can start to paper piece together, or foundation piece. So the question is, do I want it to be day or nighttime? And I think for drama, let's make it be nighttime and have there be sunshine in the windows, or I mean light in the windows. If it were daytime, I mean, when you're driving down the street and you look inside house windows during the daytime, what do you see? It's dark. But when you go down around at night or at dusk, before people have pulled their shades, it's yellow, it's white, and you can see them. It's very exciting. I'm always surprised because I'm usually driving during the day, and when I am out at night, frankly, I'm always surprised that I can see in the windows. But you know what? My background's light, so I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to make the windows dark. So literally, you can just change things on the fly. And I have other things to show you. Oh, and I want to tell you about our Quilt Guild meeting. We had our kickoff meeting of the year, and it couldn't have been more fun. guess I could speed that up. This is not precision. I still had, oh, that's the first thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you what I finished up after we hung up last week. So here's what I've got. I want to show you my Dear Jane block that I finished. But first, so this is going to be the door and the window, and then I'm going to put a little closable door, three-dimensional door there. And then we'll start to paper piece from that. This also is going to use a lot of thread, but that's okay. So there's that door. Now I want to do the two windows. And for consistency, I'm going to have each window will be the same color. And then like this middle window, I want to put some drapes. Maybe those should be, oh boy, what color should we do the drapes? I want them to stick out, but I don't want them to stick out as much as the white. I know, maybe a dotty, or like a pinpoint white and red. Oh, this is cute though. Look at that. That's kind of retro looking. Now let's try that. So I'm cutting off the salvage. And for the sake of time, I'm going to make them be straight window curtains. This still cracks me up. This is a heck of a lot easier than actually buying a real camper and doing all the cleaning before I can get to making the curtains. Okay. I always find that I make things too big. That's okay. Sometimes once you get going, you can actually make multiple windows at the same time, you know, with the same curtains. Like I could make that a whole long row and then just cut it across. So there's my camper with some curtains, and I'll trim off the rest. I'll iron it down. Oh, those aren't going to work very well. Well, you know what? Let's try it. So I'm going to trim it off here. Okay. I didn't mention this. What I'm thinking I might do is after I'm done doing the trailer, I might literally cut it out and then applique it onto my backing. And I have just this striped backing, you know, almost like shirting. So I thought I would try that. And the middle part is going to be white. Okay, you know what? So now I have my window with the curtains, and I have my door with the door flap. I think what I'm going to do is start to paper piece. And by that I mean I'm going to put my window right there. And then, oh, I did that wrong because I need to put my window over here because I need to see the pieces. Go. Finger press that. Then we'll do the other window. And you'll notice I'm taking the liberty of not doing many curved pieces. I'll leave that for adorning it with when I do the hand applique. And if I want to highlight something, I'll use some embroidery. Kind of like Sarah's doing out there. So who's in their studio tonight? It's a perfect night for sewing around here. I can hear the peepers outside. This one, because I know what I want to do, I'm just going to do it on the front. The band's in the basement. Bob made chili. It's on the stove with fresh tomatoes and fresh peppers. Does it smell good? Oh, you know what? I always forget that this ends up being backwards. So you know what? See how I made the door with it going this way? Just like in real construction, I hung it the wrong way. So I'm going to undo it. It'll be worth it because then it won't hide the window that we just made. And again, isn't this a lot easier than doing it on a real camper? So since we've seen you last, we went to a wonderful birthday party last Saturday. It was a surprise birthday party, and everyone had a nice time. Okay, so now it's on the other side, right? Now what I need to do is trim this up. You know, I could use my glue stick. Even using the foundation paper, you know, after I do this once, I probably will decide it's not even worth using foundation paper. But at least this gives us a template to start with. Okay. Oh, someone said saying hello. Who's there? Let me do one more for this middle part, and then we will check in. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And we have the little Dutch door that opens. And hopefully I'll be able to put someone in the window there. Oh, this is fun. Nice Friday night. Oh, Jean. Hi, Jean. Jean says, just sitting down to watch you work. Just some mending for me tonight. Oh, very good. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining us. I am so excited to hear about your studio and your design wall. That's a big plus. Who else is out there? Oh, you know what? Cannot get mail because, oh, maybe it's downloading. Google had some hackers, or did you see that? So I changed all my passwords today. They were suggesting that we all do that. So on my mobile device, of course, I have to go into settings. This is not going to get my camper house quilt made, but let's see. Go into settings and go into mail. Then go to Gmail. Click my account, lmarquidant at gmail.com. Type in my new password. It's verifying. It's thinking. It worked. Well, I'll be doggone. That's a first. And yes, I was showing off. Okay. So let me keep going while that updates. I'm so glad everyone's out there. Carol, I hope that you're out there and that you got the link. I again was, how am I going to do that? I didn't set it up in a timely fashion. So let's talk a little bit. I wanted to talk about Hexies. Well, no, let me back up first. First, I wanted to show, for those of you who didn't see it online, we did finish up this candy dish block. It's BR for bottom row 4 for Dear Jane. I also did another bottom block last weekend. Very easy. This one's BR1. So I just wanted you to know I made progress there. But now I want to talk about Hexies. A couple of weeks ago, my sister and I started to make Hexies, and we made the pin cushion, and she showed me how to do it, really. She'd made a stocking. And I wanted to show you both some things that I got to keep my Hexies organized, and I wanted you to know that we received some other input after Cindy. Cindy, if you're out there, hi, asked some questions about hiding her thread. And I think it was Patty Bannister from down in Texas that provided some other ideas. And basically she said, gray thread is a really good thing to use because it blends in. So if you're not already, that's one idea. And you know, I'm going to forget some of the others, which is what I wanted to say was Patty down in Texas, if you're there, hi, I hope your painting is going well, offered to possibly come on with us some Friday night from Texas and share some of her hexieing tips. So that is really exciting. And I have to say, I'm paper piecing mine. I'm not doing ink lingo or anything, and I'm loving it. And I want to show you my progress and how I'm keeping it all sort of straight. And what I just did while we were chatting is I made the door smaller so that I can put a nice clean top on my camper. It was too high. You know, this construction business is not for the faint of heart. Aha. So, see how, this is why, I didn't realize this. This part of the top of the camper is higher and then it goes down. So my blue is actually going to, that I'm going to put on now, this blue, is actually going to be just a little bit here and then more here. So I'm going to put it on in two pieces. I'm going to put on the little piece here and then I'm going to put on a bigger piece. But then the question is, okay. It's always just a matter of what goes first, second, third, isn't it? So I take that back. I'm putting on the lower one first. I tell you, do as I say, not as I do, right? If we had a camera overhead, that would just be not very elegant. So basically what I'm doing is I'm catching part of the pieces I put on, but then I'm overlapping the door. And I'll show you what I mean. There. So let me iron. So I'm curious, how many of you out there are into traditional patterns? And which ones are you liking right now, or are you making? This is anything but your traditional pattern, but I thought we needed a change from the Dear Jane. I'm proud of us for all of the Dear Jane we have gotten done, and we'll definitely keep at it. But I did want, see, now I'm going to do something kind of bizarre. I'm going to trick the eye. Knowing that we're going to cut it out. I just sewed some turquoise on kitty corner. And that definitely is not going to work. So let's see who's out there. Ah, Sarah, yes. So Sarah asks, are you going to applique the curved top of the camper or piece? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to applique it. So I'm creating all of the inner part of it. Then I'm going to cut it out and applique the whole thing. In fact, I even have the little wheel that we're going to put on afterwards. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's see who's out there. Okay, my email has synced up. Karen, welcome. Welcome. Are you listening On your earbuds from work? Yep. Karen says she's watching from work on my cell phone. I just love that. Love the scraps and the campers. Oh, thank you. Karen says she's going to a workshop by Jane and Hexie this Sunday. We'll be working on a Bonnie Hunter pattern called French Braid. Ooh, that's fun. Next month, I really get to attend a trunk show and class by Bonnie Hunter Live. That's wonderful. I will be pinching myself the whole time. Oh, you have to tell us all about it. Wish I could attend a workshop by you, but in a way, I do every week. Aw, much different for sure, but I love that. Keep on sewing. And let us know how that goes. I'd love to see your posts, Karen. Another Karen, Karen M. in Pennsylvania. Hi. She says, good to see you. Working on painting a game ball for the bar tonight. I'm so crafty, she says. Yes, you are. What in the world? I love this. It's a football. Dorco's Cafe. You do such nice work. Game Ball 2014. There must be some prize going on here. That's awesome. Are you using acrylic? That looks really fun. I'm glad you've joined us. Sheila says, I'm here. Hi. Sheila, finally a Friday night at home and watching your FiberCast. Sheila says she's cutting out material for a class tomorrow. We're doing Kim Deal's meandering wall hanging, a simple, fast wall hanging. And she says she's enjoying FiberCast. Oh, that sounds great. And what a perfect thing to be doing on a Friday night. You'll be all ready for tomorrow. So it's Kim Deal's meandering, if anyone wants to look that up. Cheryl. Cheryl has joined us. I may have to go somewhere else to look for her note. Oh, so good to see everyone. I'll take one more, then we'll keep going here. Sue from New Zealand, hi. Tuning in today with you live. Oh, it's a rainy spring day here in Auckland, so perfect for sewing and watching. She says, I love scrap quilts, so it's great to watch you using yours up. Always looking for new ideas. Oh, Sue, welcome. Oh, and if you have any tips, send them my way, and let me get back to this mess that I have just started to make and do some thinking here. How fun is that? Do we have such a creative bunch or what? From painting footballs to watching on a phone in either your studio over the garage, Jean, or on your commute home from work, Karen, to co-scrapping in New Zealand. And again, welcome to our newest member, Kristen. I'm so bad with names. French, up in Sacramento. Okay, now, let's just do this right. Okay, so again, the door is a little bit higher. Oh, I see what we need to do. She says, oh, so cleverly. New Zealand, it must be Saturday there. Do I have my time frames right? Oh, and I had such a nice exchange. I don't know if Lynn is on from Northern California. Remember last week she joined us for the first time? She told me where her name came from, and I didn't get a chance to tell everyone. So this is a viewer who joined us last week, and her first name is spelt 2 L's and then I-N-E. So we learned how to pronounce it, and it's basically you say the first L as a vowel, like L, just like A is an A or O is an O. So this L is an L, and then the L-I-N-E is spelt, sounds like lean. So it's Lynn. Anyway, she said that the way she got her name was that her mother named her, and her mother grew up, her mother's name is Patricia Wright. And apparently, when her mother grew up, there were 15 Patricia Wrights in her class. And she wanted to give her daughter a unique enough name so that she would never have another person in the class with the name. I think probably mission accomplished. So she was cute. She said her mother and father decided to name boys and girls, and they each got to name 2. So if you're there, Lynn, welcome. Okay. So here we have the top, finally done. Now let's do our bottom turquoise. Yeah. It does get a little tricky when you're doing the door and then the windows, and I probably should have done one side of the camper on the other side of the door all in one. But this is going to work just fine. Fact. Of course, I only have a little bit of this turquoise. This is all I have. But it's just, isn't it just the 1960s color of these campers? This is where I really do want to use my lines on the back so that each side of the door matches as much as possible. We're coming up on the fun part. Which is going to be to cut out the camper and put her on the background. See? So we're getting there. Oh, how fun. So, talked about Patty and the Hexies and her tips. Oh, she also said use a small needle. Smaller the better. Sorry, everyone. Getting this a little backwards, and I just want to make sure. Alrighty. All right. We're getting there. So what else are you working on? It sounds like fall programs have started up. That's great. We have our first Guild Open Sew next Saturday, which will be really good. I've been walking all week. Finally, this is when I know fall is coming. Is I was using my thimble to make my hexies, and it was falling off my finger. Uh-oh, someone's knocking on the door. They'll either have to come in on their own, or Bob will have to get them. And I think it is a friend of Bob's. So this is kind of cool, guys, so far. Oh, and there's the dog. If we use our imagination, we're starting to get toward a camper. So now what I'm going to do is cut out the camper outline with a 1/4 of an inch seam. I probably maybe even like 3/16, so more than an eighth but less than a 1/4. And then I will applique it onto this backing. And then let's try another one. I think we learned a few things here. One of which is a couple of these. We're starting. With our glamour camper. Okay, so there's what the back looks like. Here's what the front looks like so far. And see how the top there doesn't have much green? I think I'm going to take the liberty of taking that top off and putting more green there. Because if I turn it under, we will lose it. And again, this one I'm trying to do according to the pattern, but you know, once we get the hang of what a camper looks like, we're going to be making houses like there's no tomorrow, and it'll be very, it'll take so much less time. Okay, that will work better. All right, so let me just cut out the wheel well. And then let's see. Now I figure I'll put it on our backing, and then we can think about adorning it or just leaving it and trying another one. I didn't think I won't do the hand sewing with you tonight. In fact, I might just pin this. I was going to hand baste it, but to save us time so we can move on to the next one, iron that open. And what will really make this pop is if we add some whimsy and we add a character in there. It could be a dog, it could be a cat. Well, a camper. Our very first camping square. So let's do another one. Actually, let me go grab something. I'll be right back. I'm going to bring you the Hexies. I wanted to show you that. 1 second. I'm coming. Hang on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. All right. Okay. So, as a way to tame my Hexies, I got myself a triple-decker Sterilite contraption. And I don't know what it is, but I couldn't have just one thing of thread. Like Karen, like your little things, your little bobbins. I will do the bobbins, but I couldn't do that yet. So you'll see I've cut extra Hexie patterns with my Applique quilt, and I just have done a lot of basting. So that's the top one. The middle one, actually, oh, that's right. I did 2 more Dear Janes. I have to trim those up and then label them. So that's 2 more Dear Janes that I actually need to put over there. And then I have Hexies cut. And then on the bottom, I have more just scraps, and I have the yellow that I'm using in every center and more cut up. So that way, whenever we go traveling or I go to guild meetings, although last night I certainly, or Tuesday night, I certainly didn't have time to stitch. But my plan is to do a little bit of stitching every night instead of just doing my iPad. Because I do love my iPad, but so that's what I got for my Hexies. And then, you want to see what I've done so far? And then we'll get back to our scraps and dreaming about what we're going to do this next week. So I think I have 4 flowers done so far. I don't know if I showed everyone this. There's my first one. Karen, those are the pieces from either Mom's or Heidi's shirt. Then this one, Carol, if you're out there, these pieces The pink and the blue are from Shy's collection. Very 1980s. This was just pretty. And I'm trying to use just florals. So I've got 4 of them. And what I'm deciding is whether to put a green for leaves around or how I'm going to set them up. But I thought I couldn't go wrong just by working on those, and we'll see how that goes. And I keep it right there. So that's my Hexie project. So Patty, down in Texas, whenever you're ready and you want to try the shared Google Hangout, let me know. Ooh, a few things just fell. And we can definitely do that. So let's see. I'm inspired. This could be fun. There's the first one. Maybe we should do a yellow or a red one. So let me show you the others that I printed out. There's one. And I should know all the names. That looks like a more modern one. Here's like a Scotty. Oh, this is neat. So now they're just facing different ways. That's cool. So I could have a whole quilt of all these different campers, and then I could put like clotheslines between them. I think that would be really neat. This could have some promise. Just as something different to do. So let me try one more. And probably I won't get it finished, but hopefully it's inspired you to quilt along with me or sew or do anything you feel like. I think I'm going to do that one. It's amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes. It really, really is. Let me see who else is out there. Dragon Goddess, hello. Says, I'm enjoying watching you working, on paper piecing. Here's a picture of my latest paper piece project. Trying to work on Christmas gifts now instead of waiting till the last minute. Wow, aren't you good? Look at that. How big is that? Oh, don't you just love the precision? Jean Birchman just texted. She says, create a trailer park glamp. What'd you call it? Hang on. Glamp ground. Exactly. You know, can you see? We come over with our dog. This is just going to get ridiculous. My niece is going to really worry about us. But I think it would be really cool to have a glamp land quilt. That's funny. So, let's see. Love the paper piecing. Oh, Patty. Hi, Patty. Have you been hearing me talk about you? This is so cool. Patty's in the car. Check out this picture. Can you see that? She's watching from her iPad. Oh, Patty, that makes my day. Says, watching while driving home from a family dinner. Oh, I hope it was good. Made 9 bow tie blocks and a baby blanket today. Good for you. Can't wait to see your trailer. We'll be painting tomorrow. Patty in Cooler, Central Texas. Oh, wonderful. Oh, good luck painting. Oh, Becky has a recommendation on Hexie thread. Excellent. Becky says, I've been using Superior Thread's Bottom Line. It's a 60 weight, 2-ply, lint-free filament polyester for stitching my Hexies together. I need to get that. It's really good. It's very fine thread, and I've had great success with the stitches not showing on the front of the work. I'm using a very pale pink thread to coordinate with my pink and red Hexies. Becca, thank you for that tip. I'm going to do that. So Superior Thread's Bottom Line. Okay. Thank you. And hi. Love to see all your posts and all your work. Sandra! Hi. Sandra says, hi, Lynn. At Quilt Guild this week, they demoed T-shirt quilts. Ooh, hear that, Jean? Love them. Added to my bucket list. At this rate, I must live to 125 years old. LOL. Love your camper block. What fun. Ooh. That looks like the cart. I love these that you make. Good for you. Love it, Sandra. Welcome. And 125 sounds good. We'll hold you to that. Linda, nice to hear you and see you in Denton. Linda Denton in Kentucky. Love your FiberCast and working on fireplace mantle scarves for Christmas. Was wondering if you were going to do a mystery quilt this year. Keep up the good work and sharing. Well, so as of right now, not maybe at the same time I did it last year, which was in the winter time. I'm really focused on, I want to do Bonnie Hunter's mystery and share it with everyone. I know a lot of you are making Bonnie Hunter, so I didn't want to overlap that, or frankly didn't have time to do both, and I really enjoy hers. But we might do one in the spring. Let's see how things go. If we want a challenge, we can certainly do it. And believe me, thank you for letting me share. This is really fun for me. Watching from Australia, Allison and Peter. Was about to do the bills and saw your tweet. Ha! So I'm watching you now. Oh, that's so fun. It's great that you are on at a time when Australia can watch. It's 10:39 a.m. here in Brisbane, a lovely spring day. Oh. I'm going to have a go at your block. Just downloaded some free clip art. Excellent. Excellent. She says she'll post when finished. Then I will be doing bills. And after that, more work on a quilt called Sassy Cats. Ooh, I wonder if we could combine Sassy Cats with Glamperland. I'm excited to have found you. See you again soon, Allison. I'm glad too. Hi. Oh, and I see you do a travel blog and a quilting blog. Ooh, and a multi-age education pages. We'll have to check that out. Again, Allison, welcome. Marquet, how are you? She's all caught up and ready to sew. Oh, and Cousin Norma, hi. Both are watching and sewing with you tonight from Kentucky. You're together? I hope you are. I love when you two text each other and you're watching it from your own places, but I hope you're able to be together. I'm working on the Carolina chain blocks of Bonnie Hunter's pattern. And Norma is cutting up material for a chevron quilt for her daughter. You are together. Here is a picture of my setup tonight. This is the same color that I use a lot, is gray thread. And I just wanted to let you know that I love the segment when the lady, sorry, I can't think of her name now, beeped in on you and your sister. It was so much fun, and she seems like she has a great personality just like you. Oh, isn't that nice? That was Sarah. And she's been on the show before, and you know, we may do more of that. Again, with Patty down in Texas and Karen. But that's great. So Sarah, kudos. And believe me, Sarah has much more depth and many more fine arts than I will ever know. So she's just a wealth of information, and we're very lucky to have her sharing her learnings. She says, have a great weekend. Loving the Dear Jane quilt. Oh, good. Are you making one? Let's see. And the camper pattern seems like it will be fun. Can't wait to see it. I love all traditional patterns. Love the periwinkle pattern. And really anything that has movement. Your friend Marquet. Oh, and I love your machine. Look at that old vintage. That's a beauty. Oh, Glamper Camper Ground quilt this week. Imagine the vintage sewing machine quilt we could make. Anyway, so many things to do. We're going to get a lot of it done in 60 minutes every week. I'm really glad you joined me here on FiberCast. Keep the comments coming. If I missed anyone, I apologize. I do see them all, and I try to respond to them. Keep on quilting. Have fun tomorrow in your various workshops and with your quilt guilds, and enjoy the fall here and the spring down in Australia and New Zealand. And tune in next week at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific, and we'll do another FiberCast. Have a good week, everyone. Bye.